Hello, everybody. It is me. It is Tom, and we're back with episode 3 of Heartstopper. It is super hot right now, and I am melting, but we're going to do a reaction, and that's what we're going to do. But the windows are open, and the kids across the street are playing on the playground, so you might hear them yelling. We'll just pretend that they're very happy that Charlie and Nick are getting together. I'm sure that's what it's about. All right, let's move right into episode 3 of Heartstopper, Kiss. Okay, starting right off with, right where we left poor Nick, delving into the deep rabbit hole of the internet regarding being not straight. Poor Nick. I mean, I think most queer people have been here. I think when I did my own deep dive into the internet gay areas, yeah, I don't think I went quite this deep because I had enough to be depressed about, but yeah. 62%. Yeah, poor Nick. Yeah, and regarding him crying there, I know there are a few theories as for why. I mean, the obvious reason is that it's a lot to deal with, like realizing that the person that you thought you were and the future that you thought you would have are not the case. So, I mean, that's heavy. That's a lot to deal with. There's also the fact I've also heard some people saying that, like, I mean, the fact that he got a 62%, it's not really conclusive. Like, it's not 100% gay. It's not 0%. It's just in the middle somewhere. And of course, we learn later that he is, of course, bisexual. So, but yeah, that's a lot. I mean, it was a lot for me when I was in my early 20s. So it's a lot for someone who is 16. Oh, actually, he would be 15 at this point, right? I don't know. Anyway, poor Nick. Excellent song choice again.
Alright. How's it? It's fine. Normal.
I feel like normal is the word he uses when he lies about things not being okay, or lies about things being okay when they're not okay. Like, that's the same thing he said after his mom picked him up at practice after, like, he ripped Ben off of Charlie. She's like, how was practice? And he says nothing for a long time, and then is like, oh, it was normal. And here, too. Oh, how's it going? Normal. Yes, totally normal. I didn't just stay up late into the night researching the ins and outs of being queer at all. But yes, back to Harry.
Party? My 16th birthday party. You better bring some cool people with you as well.
I like here, Imogen comes right up to him and, like, scoots right into his side, and he shifts over. Like, even before realizing that she has a crush on him, his body language is very like, nah, I'm good, no thanks.
Fine, I guess I can invite you, Imogen.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Kiss, 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 kiss.
You know Tara Jones is going to be there. Mate, she is...
Charlie very carefully not looking at half-naked Nick right beside him.
Girls. Imogen, obviously. Everybody knows she fancies him.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, well,
He has two proper fit girls trying to get with him, and he's not even bothered.
this scene is so interesting. Like, there's all this pressure coming from these guys towards Nick, like, oh, Tara, oh, Imogen, oh, hey, two proper fit girls trying to get with him, all that stuff. I apologize for my accent. But yeah, and, like, Nick is doing this thing where he's trying not to make any red flags pop up for the guys. Like, he doesn't want them to start questioning his sexuality, but at the same time, like, the guy he likes, Charlie, is right next to him, and he doesn't want Charlie to think he likes a girl, so difficult situation for old Nick Nelson.
You're not into Imogen then. Saturday night's your chance with Tara. That's all I'm saying.
So you get a maybe, and then immediately looks like he hates himself, looks over at Charlie.
Hi.
One of the few times we don't get a hi in return.
Do you want to go to Harry's party? With me? Please come. I want you to be there.
Yeah, you can't say no to that. If Mr. Nick Nelson showed up on my door and said, I want you to be somewhere, I would go. I'm screaming. Blah, 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 blah. Key smash. I love how much detail they put into everyone's respective bedrooms. I thought we were having a film night round my house tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, so I understand why Tao is upset, like, but at the same time, I mean, you gotta go to the party with Nick. I mean, come on, come on, come on, come on. But yeah, like as far as Tao goes, I really get his perspective. Like, I don't condone many of his actions and his way of behaving through a lot of this, but like, he's already had their friendship group. Like, it's very clear. It's very clear that to Tao, their friendship group is like the most important thing in his life. He feels super protected towards Charlie. He wants them all to hang out together, and like the group has already been disrupted once by Elle switching schools now, and so like their friendship group has already been fractured a little bit, and now he feels like he's losing Charlie. Um, so yeah, like I totally get where Tao is coming from, but at the same time, man, like he's got to follow his heart. He's got to follow Nick to the party. Isaac and Elle back me up on this. Isaac looks at phone. No. Here we go to an extravagant 16th birthday party. Yeah, I do really like that they included, because, I mean, in the comics as well, Charlie's dad is just extremely nice and extremely lovely and clearly cares a lot for Charlie and like, is very protective of him. So I like that they were able to incorporate that in here, though it is a bit strange that we never see him in the house, and we never see the whole family together. Like, Charlie has like solo scenes. My camera's not focusing. Focus on my face. Good job. Okay. Yeah, Charlie has solo scenes with Tori. A solo scene with his mom. Solo scenes with his dad, but we never see the family together. It's a little bit weird. Okay, so here's Charlie at the party. An introvert's dream. I know I would be feeling extremely awkward. Okay, Harry's extremely great dance moves. Yeah, the fact that Charlie is always checking his hair before he sees Nick, relatable. Okay, here's Imogen. How are you? Do you like my dress? And then Nick immediately turns his back on her. Like, I don't, kind of like with earlier where he like subconsciously scoots away from her when she like moves close to him. I don't think he's doing it on purpose. I don't think he's trying to diss her, but like he does. But yeah, his mind is very much on Charlie, which is understandable. Honestly, it is a miracle that they find each other at all in this mess. And like don't text each other like, "Oh, hey, I'm over by the pillar next to the extravagant balloon display," or something. And their eyes meet across a crowded room. Run to him, run to him. And here we have Elle's number one fan,
Oh my
Tao's mom.
goodness. Oh, it's been too long.
Tao's hair looking
darling.
particularly
Hi, Tao.
bizarre.
Mum, she's here to see me.
And here's Isaac saying he can't make it because he's super sick. I do wonder about this. Like, Isaac catches a lot. Like, he's the quiet one reading the book in the background, but he sees all. He sees all. So yeah, I do kind of wonder if he was genuinely sick or if he like skipped out so he wouldn't have to listen to Tao complaining about Charlie going to the party with Nick all night, or B, if he was hoping that the time alone might make, Tao and Elle finally realize their feelings for each other. I don't know.
I've got some important news for you.
Yeah, what?
Tara Jones is here.
So what?
You gotta wonder, like, Harry, like, why is Harry so obsessed with Nick's love life? Why is Harry so obsessed with Nick, period? Like, yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like with the psychology of Harry, like, we know from the comics that his family is very homophobic, so presumably that's where he gets his homophobia from. Also, he's just a dick, but, like, and rich and entitled, and, like, as Tao says later, probably didn't get hugged enough as a child, but, like, I mean, he has, like, this team of lackeys around him at all times who, like, chuckle at his jokes and laugh at his stupid remarks. But then there's Nick, who's like different than everybody else. Like he's still there, but he's not like. I feel like there's Harry, and then there's Harry's minions, and then like apart and a little above, well, very much above, is Nick. So like I wonder if Harry kind of, I don't know, I feel like Harry respects Nick and genuinely likes him, and like, but I don't know, at the same time it's just like, why is he so obsessed?
Alright, ladies.
The look on Tara's face when she sees it's Harry.
You remember Nick Nelson, right?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Poor Charlie. Can't you see the rainbows flying above both their heads, Charlie? Your gaydar is not functioning properly. And I have terrible gaydar, so I can't fault him at all.
All of this could have been avoided if I just told everyone I was a lesbian.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, but I guess that's not something you'd really want to lie about.
It wouldn't be a lie. Me and Darcy have been talking, and honestly, we feel like we don't need to keep it that quiet anymore.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting that Tara chooses to come out to Nick in this moment. Because, like, in the comics, she and Darcy have already been out for a long time. Or not a long time, but they're out already to everyone. Everyone knows that they're a couple, except Harry, apparently, and Nick. So, like, in that case, it makes a lot of sense. She's just like, oh, well, Harry must be one of the only people who doesn't know that I'm gay. Whereas here, Nick is one of the first people, presumably, that she tells, because she and Darcy are just talking about coming out. They haven't actually really come out yet, except to some of their friends. So, like, I assume that it's based on, knowing him before and knowing what kind of person he is and just feeling like he's a safe person to confide in. I mean, look at his face. Wouldn't you confide in Nick Nelson? I would. I would tell him all my secrets.
We don't want to make a big announcement or anything, but maybe just not hide so much.
That's cool. Do you know Charlie Spring?
Yeah, I know of Charlie Spring. Are you friends?
Yeah, we sit next to each other.
And, like,
in
her
film.
face. Tara's face in that moment is she's like, do you now? Like, I don't think he's super obvious about his feelings there, but, like, she can tell.
Hey, look who's by himself. Nick, where you going?
Oh, yeah, and I didn't notice it the first time I watched, or the second, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth. But, like, you can hear one, and also because I never put the subtitles on, but, like, you can hear one of Nick's friends / one of Harry's minions saying, look who's by himself. So, like, I guess they thought that he was going to go off with Tara and, dance or something, so.
Do you feel sorry for him because he's gay? Oh my god, nah, wait. Do you think he has a crush on you? Oh my god, how sad.
That's homophobic, Harry. And I
Tell
really
Nick.
don't like you.
Yeah, and, like, I understand that they were doing their best to take out the F-bombs in this, because, like, in the comics there's a lot more of the F word thrown around, but, like, this scene, I do feel like it's a little bit sad that we don't get the same thing that happened in the comics. Like, I understand that Tara and Darcy have already left, but, like, what happens in the comics is that, like, basically Nick is talking to Tara, and she's asking him about Charlie, and he realizes that Charlie's not there anymore, so he's looking around like, oh, where's Charlie? And that's when Harry is like, oh, why do you even hang out with him? Gay. And then, like, yeah, so in front of Tara and Darcy, here, wait, we're gonna get the actual volume. We're gonna look at that scene, because it's amazing. Yeah, so what happens in that scene, I don't know if you can see. So we have Nick saying, you know what, Harry? Fuck you. You're a pathetic, homophobic, self-obsessed dick, and I really dislike you. And here's Harry, ... And then happy fucking birthday. And then Darcy commenting to Tara, I actually love him. So one of my favorite moments in the comics. So I am kind of sad that we didn't get that in the show, but I do like what they did with that scene in the show. I think it's also good and powerful, and it's good that he calls Harry out on being homophobic, but it is sad we didn't get happy fucking birthday.
Just miss how things used to be with the four of us.
But sometimes change is a good thing.
Yeah, it's interesting that they have this whole conversation about how change can be a good thing, and Elle says all these beautiful things, but just in Tao's one ear and out the other. Like, he does not. He still spends the rest of the series, like, actively fighting against things changing. This is like the creepiest green lighting in that hallway.
Sorry.
Da da da!
Hey,
And hope!
I'm sorry about what happened, okay? Have you finished talking about it?
I like how Ben can't even do a proper apology, like, without insulting Charlie at the same time. Like, I'm sorry about what happened. Okay, good. Just stop. Just stop talking right there.
Leave me alone. I'm calm.
Do not touch me!
Yeah, I also like that, like, a lot of the reactions I've watched, as soon as people see Charlie run into Ben in the hallway, they're like, oh no, he's gonna kiss Ben, and Nick's gonna see it, and then it's gonna be a whole thing. And, like, in another show, that is exactly what would have happened. But this is Heartstopper, and we don't do that here, so.
Can we promise that, like, no matter what happens, we'll always prioritise our friendship?
Sounds a bit dramatic.
Tao, Sue, dramatic? Nah. I feel like this vow is probably definitely one of the reasons why Elle doesn't come clean about her feelings to Tao later. Yes, yes, the moment is coming. Oh, but first we have to dodge Imogen. Are there any teenagers left in Britain who were not at this party?
Come dance with me.
Oh, Imogen. Like, this is such a cringy moment. Like, oh, the dancing. Nick's face the whole time, he's just like, oh, there's a girl dancing.
Do you like me?
What?
What?
I really like you, Nick.
Oh, Imogen.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned in the previous one that, yeah, sadly, me as a teenager was very much like Imogen. Like, I was not subtle when I had a crush on someone. I would legit, like, not this exactly. I never, like, but I would go up and ask people to dance with me at the school dances and, like, completely ignore all the very obvious signs that they were not into me. And, like, if they did not outright reject me, I would be like, oh my god, they like me. So yeah, I get it, but oh, it's cringy. Oh, it's cringy, man. Yeah, when you tell someone you like them and they say okay, that should be a hint that maybe they don't share your feelings. When they say okay and then immediately leave, like, that's maybe a clue it's not going to be. But good for you, Imogen. Good for you putting yourself out there. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Tara and Darcy dancing. Nick watching them. It's happening. Now, I am not going to lie. This is the one scene that did bring me to tears in this show. Like, there are a lot of amazing scenes, but, like, just the joy and, like, the look on Nick's face as he watches them, and the rainbows, and just the freedom and happiness of it, like, I cannot. Like, it is the most beautiful scene. And, like, thinking about how much that means to Nick, just seeing, like, two queer people being happy and open and in love, and, like, kissing in the middle of a crowded room, and, like, nobody's throwing insult at them. Nobody, I mean, granted, they have to deal with homophobia later, but, like, the world did not end. Nothing bad is happening. They're just living their best life, having a great time. And he sees that. And, like, again, like, the most powerful scenes in the show have no words at all. Like, there's no words here. It's just Tara and Darcy dancing and kissing, and the expression on Nick's face. And then, like, he just, yeah, the way he looks after that, like, oh, damn, I have to find Charlie. And there Charlie is.
I don't know if I want to hang out with those guys anymore. I'd rather hang out with you anyway.
Yeah, I also think it's interesting that in this episode, Nick makes all the right realizations. Like, he realizes that Harry is a dick and he doesn't like him. He realizes that he doesn't want to hang out with his friends anymore. He realizes that it's possible to be open and queer and happy, and he wants that with Charlie. But, like, as soon as he and Charlie kiss later on, he kind of like falls back a lot because he makes up with Harry. He keeps hanging out with those guys. He needs to keep things a secret. So like, it's understandable, but at the same time, like, it's too bad because he got here. He got to the right place right here, right now. But it takes him until the end of the season to get back to this moment of like confidence in himself.
So I just ran into Ben. Ben?
Just the look of fear and worry on Nick's face right there.
I pushed him into a wall and told him to go away. Yeah. I'm so proud.
Shut up.
Hand holding.
Should we go somewhere quieter again?
Charlie, through all of this, has the look on his face like he can't really believe what's happening. I mean, Nick is holding his hand, taking him off to a quiet place. This is another moment of just absolute joy. Like, just the freedom of them chasing each other up the stairs. This room is so spot on to how it looks in the comics, like even down to the giant flower arrangement right behind Nick. Okay, guys, it's happening. The scene. And I have to say, like, I love this whole show. There are so many amazing scenes, but I think this scene is the best. Like, the pacing, the emotions, the facial expressions, the little movements, the music, like, everything is just perfect. So let's watch it.
Do you like Tara? What? No. No, definitely not.
Every time Nick answers Charlie's questions, there's this look of like slight panic on his face, which is understandable.
So you don't have a crush on Nora at the moment? I didn't say that.
Poor Charlie. His emotions have to be going like up and down through this whole scene.
What's she like then? You're just gonna assume they're a she.
Are they not a girl?
Yeah, and another part of the brilliance is just like Nick. It's so relatable and so believable. Like Nick finding the courage to say things like that, but then immediately pulling back because he's scared. Like he outright says, like, essentially saying like, "No, I have a crush on a guy. I have a crush on you, stupid." But no, but I have a crush on a guy. Essentially, is what he says. And then Charlie's like, "Wait, it's not a girl." And Nick like turns away and is like, and he can't go any further. So like I feel like if Charlie had not been so bold in this scene by asking the questions he asked, I don't know if they would have realized their feelings for each other in this scene. I don't know if we would have gotten the kiss that we get. So it's good that Charlie is very good in this scene. Like he knows exactly what to say and what to do to kind of help Nick through this panic.
Would you go out with someone who wasn't a girl?
I don't know. Maybe.
It's Charlie. Getting bolder.
Would you kiss someone who wasn't a girl?
I don't know.
I love too how quiet this scene is. Like there's no music. We can't even hear the party going on down below them somewhere. It's just silent except for their words and their breathing and like the little sounds of them. So here we go. Pinky touch.
Would you kiss me?
Yeah.
Nick's breathy little yeah. I would also like to point out that like this show does an excellent job of showing how to, of showing consent. Like in this scene, Charlie doesn't just grab Nick and kiss him. He asks him, "Would you kiss me?" And Nick says yes, and he doesn't kiss him until then. And in the next episode, when like Charlie's apologizing and he says, "I shouldn't have kissed you," Nick was moving towards him. He stops dead in his tracks and doesn't move forward and kiss him until he's very clear on the fact that Charlie does want to kiss him. And of course, in the finale, like spoilers. In the finale, Nick doesn't grab Charlie and kiss him in the middle of the rugby match, like, which I don't think he would do anyway, because obviously he's not ready to come out to that degree. But like, he takes his hand, he takes him to a private spot, and they talk things through. So like, excellent job modeling consent, especially with the where we have the opposite, what not to do in the form of Ben Hope. So yeah. It's just beautiful. I can only imagine what's going on in Nick's head. But like, that look on his face. And he finally gets to grab Charlie's hand. And Charlie's like, right, let's do this the right way. So beautiful. Honestly, hands down the best first kiss scene I've ever watched.
You okay?
I do wonder how this scene would have gone if Harry hadn't interrupted them. But yeah, some of the best commentary I've seen about this moment is like someone saying like, I can't find my cat in my studio apartment. How does Harry find Nick in this huge hotel? My theory is that like a lot of people saw Nick and Charlie running up the stairs, so presumably Harry was asking around, and like, I mean, he is the birthday boy, so presumably these people at least know him in some way. So I guess that he asked someone, they were like, oh yeah, he and Charlie went upstairs or something like that. So that's why he ends up there. But like, how he knew exactly what floor to be on, it's a question. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, poor Charlie. Like, this has got to be just his worst nightmare. Like, he finally gets to kiss Nick, and Nick just bolts. Like, he's got to be having major Ben flashbacks. It's interesting to see the lighting change in the scene. Like, it's really dark and coldly lit, compared to the warm lighting that we get when Nick and Charlie are together.
Just gonna go find the loo.
Yeah, and I get here that I think Nick is just... I think there's a lot going on here. First of all, Nick wants to get this conversation over with as quickly as possible so he can get back to Charlie. Second of all, he's in a state of panic. Like, he was just making out with a boy, and now he's back talking to his friends and like homophobic Harry. So like, I'm sure he doesn't want to risk them somehow like knowing what he was doing, so he just wants to like uphold the status quo. But at the same time, it's kind of disappointing that he backslides this much after like doing such a masterful job of calling Harry out earlier. It's also interesting that like previously, the last time he left Harry, it was very clear, like he openly stated he was going to go find Charlie. But now, after they've kissed, he doesn't say, I'm going to go find Charlie. He says, I'm going to go find the loo, which they find hilarious for some reason. Maybe they know he's going to find Charlie, or maybe they just find bathrooms funny. Who knows? Yeah, and then the lighting slowly starts to get warmer.
Charlie?
And Charlie's gone. His little stuffed animal. Protect this boy. Not to be all broken recordy, but in the comics. No, but in the comics we do get this from Nick's point of view to a certain degree. Like, we see him go home and compose 2 or 3 different text messages to Charlie trying to explain or, apologize. And in the end, it seems like he just knows that, like, text is not going to do it. And it ends with him, like, throwing the phone across the room and just giving up. So, and then the next morning, of course, we know what happens. Here comes I'm all for interesting cinematography, but I don't think we need to see his toothpaste going into the sink. Like, I think that was not maybe a necessary shot.
Can you get the door, please? Look at the postman.
Fine, one sec.
It's Sunday, Mum. It's not the postman.
Hi. Hi.
Yay! Okay, now, is it a trope? Is it a trope, the running through the rain to get to the person that you love? Yes. Do we love it? Also, yes. Yeah, so no, I bear no ill will whatsoever toward the running in the rain trope because, I mean, it's a trope for a reason. It's damn effective and we love it. So, yes. But yeah, that is probably my favorite episode of the entire show. Like, I love, and like, when I say favorite, like, I think all of the episodes are super up there, and they're probably all my favorites, but that one just has so many good scenes. Like, the Tara and Darcy on the dance floor scene, Nick and Charlie's first kiss, like, those two scenes alone just catapulted up to the top. Yeah, so yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. And of course, Nick, Nick is going through a lot, but he still manages not to be a dick. So take notes, Ben Hope. But yes, anyway, thank you so much for watching, if indeed you watched. And we'll be back soon with episode 4, Secret. Yeah, even though that episode has my least favorite scene in it, which is the literal adult men destroy Charlie Spring scene. So, yeah, the rugby scene is not my favorite, just because I find it so upsetting to see like bad things happen to Charlie. But other than that, it's a very good episode. It has some good stuff, so we're gonna watch it. We're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be great. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I really appreciate. As I said before, I really appreciate everyone who has been liking and commenting and subscribing and doing all that awesome stuff. Let me know your thoughts about this episode or what your favorite episode is or anything that you want to say in the comments that is not, homophobic or stupid. So, now you can be stupid. I don't care if you're stupid. Just don't be homophobic. So, all right. That's all. Yeah. Okay, bye.